And so we are going to go over all of the stuff that you need to know from this entire unit. So basically it is summed up in this little diagram that you see here. So if you want to pause the video and write this down, when we're looking at the mole train, it can be a little, oh, there it is again. It can be a little overwhelming because it seems like there's a lot of information, but this entire thing is just this stuff. And so you could just memorize, this little amount of stuff and you can know everything that you need to know. And I'm going to show you how to use a couple of them here. So we're going to take a look at a multi-step problem. And what I mean by that is what we've done so far is we've gone from, like, for example, volume to moles. We've gone from moles to mass. We've gone from, mass to moles and moles to molecules. But we're going to put it all together. So we're going to go from mass, for example, to moles and then to another, substation. So we're going to travel all over the map. So let's do this problem right here, number 9. So remember, we always start with what's given, right? That has not changed, and we need to identify what we want. So in this case, we want molecules, and we are given 544.7 grams of carbon monoxide. So if we're going to answer this question, we always write down what's given, 544.7 grams of CO. And I haven't done anything different. I'm not going to do anything different. I'm just going to continue doing what we've always done. Just follow the units, make them cancel out, and keep plugging in until you get to what you want. So in this case, I know for sure 100% that if grams is here, then I need grams of CO down here. And our main central station is moles. So we're going to go from grams to moles. Like 99% of the time, we're going to go from grams to moles. So the question is, where do we get these grams from? Well, if I want to know the mass of any element, I look at the periodic table. So again, here's 1 mole and X amount of grams. So if I have any of these things, on the other side of it has to be 1 mole and vice versa. So I'm going to look at the periodic table. I see that carbon is 12.01 and I know that oxygen is 16.00. So if I add those together, I get 28.01. Oops, let me get my thing. So 28.01 grams of carbon monoxide. Okay, so typically we've stopped here because we wanted moles. However, if we look at the question's looking for molecules, not moles. So I'm not done. And I have a lot of people ask me, well, how do I know if I'm done or not? Remember, what you want has to be in this last step. And if this was my last step, then the question should be looking for moles. But it's not, so I'm going to keep going. And then, I get asked, well, I know I need to keep going, but where do I go? What do I put next? Again, just continue doing the same thing we've always done. If moles is here, then what has to be down here? And you should be saying moles. And if it's moles, well, then what number goes next to it? And you should be saying 1. Always 1 mole. Again, over here, 1 mole is going to go with every single one of these things. So now we can go to what the question's looking for, which in this case is molecules. And so you should ask yourself, well, what number always goes in front of molecules? And if I'm looking over here, it's always the 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd up here at the top. So then I'm going to somehow squish in 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. There we go. And now we can again ask ourselves, well, okay, am I done? Is molecules what the question was looking for? And the answer is yes. All of my units cancel out, grams, grams, moles, moles, and I'm left with what I want. So now I can plug this in the calculator. And remember, okay, Wyatt, remember, I want you guys to go in order from left to right, just like you're reading a book. So I'm going to type in 544.7. And then since this number here is on the bottom, I'm going to do divided by 28.01. And then I push enter after every step. Now it's like a new step, and I don't have to retype my numbers or anything like that. I'm just going to put whatever the operation is. And in this case, 6.02 is on the top. So I'm going to do multiplied by 6.02 E23. And when I push enter, I get my answer, which is 1.17 times 10 to the 25th. And my label I need is molecules of CO. And that's my final answer. And that same process is what we do with every single question. So don't, read another question and be like, oh, well, I don't know what to do here. You're doing the same thing. Start with what's given in this question. You're given 89.7 liters. Line up your units. So, looking over here, what are you going to put next? Well, it has to be liters, and it has to be 22.4. And that's for every 1 mole. And then you got to cancel out moles and go to whatever the question wants, which in this case is molecules. So it's really just a step-by-step plug in what you know and cancel out those units until you get to what the question is looking for. And hopefully this video helps kind of put the last pieces of the puzzle together. And if you guys need anything else, remember, don't hesitate to ask. Thank you.
Bye.
Say bye-bye. He waved. Okay, thanks guys.